It's a human rights problem now. Now. So it wasn't a human rights problem when all this shit was happening to black people before. But it's a human rights problem now. Because again, black Americans are seen as subhuman in this country. Do you hear yourself? Did you think about that before you typed that? And you want us to say that until it's at your front door. It's been at our front door. It is quite literally the foundation of this country and how this country became. Remember? Slavery. I'm going to say it again. Slavery. You got it? So it's not going to be too late for us to care. It's too late that you are caring. Because it's always been a civil rights, human rights issue for black people. And like I said to the other bitch, you as Hispanic people or other people of color would not have the rights that you have in this country if it wasn't for black Americans making all of these civil rights movements. Black Americans did that. So the reason that you're all up in arms right now and, oh, it's a human rights issue, it's a this, it's a that, it's not a race thing, it's because it's at your front door. Because when it was black people, when it was black Americans, when black Americans were the face of it, and I'm not talking about black Hispanic people, I'm talking about black Americans. When we were the face of it, it's not our problem. He should follow the law. Why didn't he comply? Why didn't she have her ID? Why did she yell at the officer? Well, what did she do? Was she on drugs? What happened? Why would they even question them? Well, if you weren't doing anything, it wouldn't be... But now it's at your front door, and it's a civil rights issue. It's a human rights issue. It's been at our fucking front door, babe. It's been at our fucking front door. So like we're saying... Because I think also in your earlier comment, I responded to this, how you said, well, it wasn't all of Hispanic people or Latino people that did it. It was the ones that were more whitewashed. Again, proving my point on how you all are not united. You're separate. You see that? You're separated. And you all need to come together as a vast majority, like black Americans did, you know, that 92 and 79%, like we did. When you all as a vast majority come together, then you come tell us, join us up in arms. Hello. Until then, majority of us are not going to be up in arms and being shields. And again, that does not mean that we're not speaking out about it. That does not mean that there aren't black people who are protesting. There does not mean that there aren't black people who are on the front lines. It doesn't mean that. But if you see on my original video how many fucking likes I have on that video, it's for a fucking reason. If you go and you scroll through and you see how many other black American peoples have made videos the same way, if you go and you look and see how many sales have been made for the merchandise that say 92%, it's for a fucking reason. It's been at our front door. It's just showing up to yours.
So now the Epstein client list is a hoax. We've been duped by Democrats, even though this was a promise that you yourself made President Trump. Now that we are holding you to that promise, you are turning on your own supporters, saying that you're losing faith in Republicans, gaslighting us like we're children.
Trump, my guy, let's not beat around the bush here, okay? Yeah, your followers and people who voted for you are upset because throughout your campaign, when you're trying to get votes, you said that you would release the Epstein list. And now you're saying that anybody who is still talking about this boring guy and this boring case are bad guys and fake news.
I am so frustrated and aggravated at the Trump administration right now. I told you all when he done something that I did not agree with, you'd be the first to find out about it.
The MAGA meltdowns are in full swing. There were so many videos to choose from. I could only choose those. I don't know what to tell you guys. I went over onto like their undercover like For You page where you could pretty much see an algorithm that is attuned straight up to MAGA. And scroll, and every single goddamn video was a MAGA meltdown crying about the Epstein list. Guys, the party's fracturing. We already know that we're going to sweep in the midterms. I mean, we are going to clean house in the midterms. But I think this is also going to set us up for the 2028 election. There are so many of them who are crying, very upset that the man who lied over 33,000 times while in his first term of office has done it again. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you want to my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
What are
You'll
your
have
thoughts
to
when it comes
excuse
to
me if I am
unity,
not one to
empathy,
offer
grace, and all
compassion
these
and
things
grace.
that
I really do
Latinos
love
feel
having brilliant
like they are
people as my
requesting the
mutuals.
black people to do
I
in
really
this
do.
current
I
season?
really.
Let me know in the comment section down below
It's
as we
chef
hear
kiss. It's
what more
delicious.
black people have
Okay?
to say concerning
I'm gonna be
the
honest, I
same
ain't
matter.
excusing nothing.
You know what I think is hilarious is seeing people on here like, I can't believe it. They took away my medication. They took away my Medicaid. I need my medication. I need my. This is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. You finna lose your grandpa and you finna lose your grandma. You are a bunch of baby killers. It's a lot of kids that survived off of that services, off of that health care. That's what you voted for. That's what you wanted. And I hope you know you're about to see how America is one of the sickest countries in the world. It's not just people walking around with mood stabilizers and, stabilizers, chemicals in their brain and stuff like that. There's people that's walking around with diabetes and all kinds of different diseases.
What are you going to do now? Huh?
Damn near for every 5 person, there's one that's on some type of medication. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all are crazy. We are the most medicated country in the world, and y'all voted to have the health care removed or altered to the point where 17 million people lost their benefits. Y'all are crazy. But this hey. That's what you voted for. And I hope you know if you're broke now, you're about to be even broker. Yay! Because of this man in the office, people are losing their jobs. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. Actually, sorry, I think right now is at 9 million to be exact. We're 6 months in, people. 9 million people are on unemployment. Let that sink in. But hey, what the fuck do I know? And quite frankly, I'm tired of seeing people go through this fuck around and find out stage because it's affecting them. When it could affect someone else, it was like, yeah, let's vote for it. And they're like, well, that's not what he said. No, that's what he said. He's doing exactly what he told you he was going to do. You just didn't listen. Your bigotry and your racism wouldn't let you get the message. You thought it wasn't going to affect you. And that's why you in the stage where you sitting on this app talking about, this is not what I voted for. Yes, the fuck you did. You know how you have siblings. If you have siblings, you know this very well. When one of us do something bad, we all get in trouble, right? That's how I feel. I feel like I'm the sibling who didn't do nothing, but because one of us made a bad, poor decision, now we can't go outside.
You'll have to excuse me if I am not one to offer compassion and grace.
I really do love having brilliant people as my mutuals. I really do. It's chef kiss. It's delicious. Okay? I'm gonna be honest, I ain't excusing nothing because you're right. And if you find yourself trying to figure out why you shouldn't be offering grace or peace or patience toward these individuals, I got 7 talking points. If you got about 3.5 minutes to spell, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't trust these people, nor you should meet them with grace, compassion, understanding, none of that. Just bear with me. I got 7 points. Give me 3.5 minutes. Can I get that from you? Cool. Now, we're going to start with number 1. The first is seeking instant redemption with no accountability. Seeking instant redemption with no accountability. So, let's talk about this. Wanting community again without doing the necessary healing or reparative work is a symptom of entitlement. Okay? That's your answer right there, really. Because why would I meet you with peace or grace or empathy or honestly even understanding? Because I can't understand your point. I definitely can't give you grace. And I damn sure ain't got no empathy for you because I've never wanted to see a person simply not exist just simply because I do not understand, appreciate, or value their existence in my life. I ain't never in my life had the want or the need to think like that. But we're going to come back. Now, these people don't deserve grace. They don't deserve the extension of community because they are under the assumption that they deserve immediate forgiveness just because they've changed their minds. But they've done no actual work to change behavior, value, understanding. Hell, they didn't even stop to apologize to those close to them. They came to the internet seeking validation from people who were going to handhold and coddle them, but not actually acknowledging the impact of their vote outside of how it's personally affecting them. Emphasis on that. You're not acknowledging the impact on the world. You're acknowledging the impact that it has on you personally. You don't care about the rest of us. Point number 2. The harm wasn't passive. It was participatory. Now, this is really important because voting isn't an active choice. Voting is an active choice. It is something that you have to get ready, get dressed, go to polling places, find the nearest polling location. For some, if you're still young, you have to register to vote. This was a choice. This is something you had to gear up and prepare for. This was an active choice. You read the website. You can't say you don't read. You can't say you weren't scrolling on TikTok because you saw people go page for page and expressing how dangerous these policies were going to be, how they were anti-Black, xenophobic, just downright violent. But you still got up. Whatever day you went to go vote, you put on your clothes and you decided you were going to vote for white nationalist power. You made a choice. You chose wrong. And now you're suffering the consequences of your actions. You don't even care how it's affected those who share community with you a little bit. Because all you want is the protection from the same communities that you sought to destroy. Put a pin in that. We coming back. Point number 3. It looked like this is going to be longer than 3.5 minutes. Bear with me, y'all. Point number 3. Desire for comfort over the consequences of their action. That's why I said put a pin in that. Looks like we segue right into that from my notes. But whatever. Apologies that are driven by discomfort or social shame are not genuine apologies. They're kind of just like a Band-Aid. They have no intention of actually learning how what they did was dangerous. They have no intention on repairing the communities that they've damaged. It's literally just apologizing just to say, I did it. Just to get a pat on the back. Just to get kudos or brownie points. There's no reason for them to do it outside of centering their feelings instead of centering the communities that have been harmed in the process. This actually, really good point here. I put this in here in red. This directly mirrors how white supremacy functions by prioritizing white feelings over Black and brown survival and communities. Oh, dang. I actually put book reference. Apparently, I put Black AF history on Amazon. We're going to put a pin in that because I think that that's a really good one, but I can't quite remember. I did this late last night. Number 4, expecting access to community as a default. This is the part that's the concerning thing for me. Wanting to be reaccepted by the same marginalized communities you dishonored by not doing any boundaries, not genuinely apologizing for the boundaries that you disrespected. We're going to call that what it is. Nor have you done the inner work to actually address the entitlement that you have. Community isn't owed, it's earned. And that's the problem with these people and their mindset. You don't just get it just because you said sorry. That's not how that works. Put a pin in that though. That community is earned, not owed. We're going to come back to that. I got something on the back end for that. Performative versus transformative action. Wanting to be you was never accepted in the first place. Wanting to be re-accepted by the same marginalized communities. Scratch that. 5, performative versus transformative action. Public regrets with no private repair is performative in nature on any scale, but especially in this case, because white supremacy thrives off of image control. So it thrives off of what you think of me. It thrives off of me presenting one way, but being vicious in another. It prides itself. It literally prioritizes being seen one way so that I can get close enough to you to harm you. That's how white supremacy works. That's what's being utilized when these people get online with these fake ass apologies. It literally aligns with white supremacy. I think that might be why I put Black AF history, because I just put it randomly to the side. I think that's why that's in here. We're going to come back. Point 6, reintegration. Rounding back around. Reintegration is is earned, not demanded. Allyship involves a lot of work. Listening, years of repair, showing up consistently, like without the want to be acknowledged or given a pat on the back or given a thank you. Like that's how you genuinely show up for communities that you've harmed. You do so by repairing the damage, whether that's financially, whether that is community-based, whether that is by offering time, whether that's by educating yourself. It's earned. And you don't choose once you've earned it back. Hold on. Oh, I like this. Wanting to come home without wanting to fix the broken foundation is a dangerous act within itself. In order for you to actually honor and respect and actually do the things necessary to rebuild community, you have to open up the foundation. You have to honor the bones you buried there. You have to finally acknowledge the blood that you soaked the ground in. Not acknowledging that means that you've done all of this with nothing more than a want to simply just be coddled. And I ain't doing that. I don't know about y'all. And at the end, point 7 is really just what we all know. This was never politics. This was people's lives. Trump voters didn't support a candidate, but they did align with white supremacist rhetoric that threatened the safety, health, existence of real people that look like you and me. And in all honesty, I like that I put this here. Looking for community in the wake of political disappointment is hollow. Not because you've actually learned anything, but because you know that without us, you would cease to exist. Reaching out for community now, once you have burned yourself, does not mean that you are deserving of the work and effort it would take for our communities to save or heal you. The consequences of your actions are in fact your own, including the failure you made when you aligned yourself with white supremacy